Okay, we are done with our discussion on the different purposes of traveler based on the personality of the travelers. And based on those different personalities of travelers and how those different personality affect the decision of the travelers why they engage into travel. We also discuss the different um, the effect of consistency and complexity on the leisure travel. So we are done with that. We have again and again we are trying to determine the needs and wants, or what are other factors that may affect the decision of our traveler to buy whether or not to buy the package tour. But this time we are going to discuss classification of travelers based on the purpose of travel. There are actually two types of classification of travelers based on purpose of travel. These are the business travelers and the leisure or personal travelers. Leisure or the business travelers includes regular business travelers attending meetings, conventions, and congresses, and another one is the incentive travel. So let's have first the business travelers. Business travelers attend regular business travel travelers. Among business travelers, the cost of the trip is shouldered by the company. Hence, the travel is not influenced by personal income. So in this type of travel, when we talk about business travelers, there's no the the all the expenses will be shouldered by the company. So if we're going to sell a package tour to this particular type of traveler, it's easy for us, even our package tour do have an expensive price, uh, a luxurious accommodations, and different very um, comfortable comfortable transportation seats. It's because we don't have to worry about the expenses. It's because it's not influenced by the personal income of the travelers. The volume and rate of growth of business traveler is not greatly affected by the cost of the travel. This means that business travelers will continue even if the price of the travel services increases. It's because, di ba, there is no, and in business travelers, they don't have this what we call scheduled, or they don't have to wait for a promotion for them to travel. It's because they do not worry about the expenses, since the expenses will be shouldered by the company. So there's no waiting of promotions. There's transportation promotions, say for example flight promotions. There's no waiting for a full season of hotel accommodations. And most of the time, this type of travelers will be going to have a very luxurious accommodation. That is why different hotels and different mode of transportation nowadays, um, specializing room intended for business travelers. Um, so for example, for our airplanes nowadays, they have what we call business suite for their passengers intended for these business travelers, it's because even the price is not as low as those personal travelers, or those travelers engaged into personal by personal purpose. Kay tungod daghan sila og it's because they do not worry about the money. They do not worry about the expenses. It's because it is been shouldered by the by what you call this one by the company. So we have regular business travelers. Among business travelers, many studies have been conducted to find out the characteristics of regular business travelers. The result of this surveys revealed that business travelers are well educated, rich, have high-level job, and tend to fly often. But most of the time, those regular business travelers, they tend to those people who, most of the time, according to survey, most of the time, those who will be, those uh, belongs to regular business travelers are most probably they are highly educated. It's because if ikaw ipadala sa ibang company to represent your company to meet your clients, so, uh, you must be competitive and you must be highly educated. You must be uh, have that convincing power if you are going to meet client to close a deal for a transactions and so on and so forth. But most of the time, according to survey, more recent surveys have shown that ratio of women business travelers to men business travelers have grown rapidly. The survey shows that there are major differences between male and female business travelers. Some of these are women business travelers are slightly younger, but most of the time, most of the regular business travelers, majority daw are women. It's because women business travelers are slightly younger. They tend to stay longer at their destinations. They are more opt to be unmarried than males. They are more likely to attend a meeting or conventions. There's no discriminations. But in reality, most of the time, those women, itong mga women are mostly business women are up to be unmarried. If they don't have children to attend to, if they don't have a husband to attend to, they are really free to attend different businesses. They're really free to travel for a business purpose, unlike men. No? And they are more likely to book through a travel agent. Kabalo na ka sa mga babae, they are up to for an organized travel. They don't like hassle, unlike most of the time yung ganita cowboy, mga lalaki cowboy, dili mo palitong kaano unsa ray na din ha. Unlike women, they really have to organize their travel. And if they are business women, so most likely they don't have time to arrange themselves for their travel. So they look into a package that will, or a tour operator that will arrange her travel. Many airlines and hotels are exerting effort to cater to the business executive travelers. Airlines have been offering first-class seat service and so and first-class passenger lounges to airport terminals to these travelers for many years. More recent innovation includes special check-in arrangement, bigger seats, and sleeper seats. It's because medyo mahal-mahal sa ilahang pamasahe, medyo mahal-mahal sa... That is why, they are really, of course, they are also, they are really, of course, worthy for a special treatment. It's because they are paying much higher compared to our regular passengers. That is why also it's because of this idea of these travelers uh, nga yun ani ilahang kuan. So what they're going to do is the airline companies, just to accommodate this type of travelers, and they can really get higher high profit out of this type of passengers. So what they are going to do, they are they allocate rooms, they allocate seats for special treatment for to this particular type of travelers, as well as hotels, no? Mas if we talk about the price of regular room compared to a business suites or business room, medyo taas-taas, medyo mahal-mahal ang what you call this one, ang business suites, business room. It's because bisan pag dili ka bisag ikaw gani, di ba? Ipadala kag meetings you will be representing your company for a meeting to be held in far places or sa lain nga province, lain nga city. You will be, of course, the all expenses will be shouldered by the company. So are you going, to be honest, no? Are we going to book for a cheaper accommodation? So dito jud ka atong medyo comfortable sad kaay ka nga kuan. So if we look into ang atong mga hotel rooms, if you look into a more comfortable rooms, medyo more pricey na sad siya. So some other hotels give giveaways to this type of travelers, just to convince, just to uh, attract these particular travelers to book with them. No? Another one is business travelers attending meetings, conventions, and congress. Travel Pulse survey indicate that 20% of all business travel trips are for the purpose of attending meetings, conventions, and congresses. Ma'am, although there are also purpose business meetings, so you might be meeting with the clients, just to do some a little bit transactions over the talk over coffee, talking about future transactions na yung mga yun ana, but most of the time accordingly, those different business travelers are uh, kasagaran daw, the purpose of business meeting is for business meeting, attending meetings. It's either conventions of the different business icons, congresses, and a congress and convention or conference is a regular formalized meeting of associations, body, or a meeting sponsored by an association or body on a regular or ad hoc basis. But when we talk about Congress, convention, or conference, it is a formalized meeting uh, organized by an association, or it's organized by a group of associations sponsored by an association for a regular or for ad hoc basis, especially if there would be issues and concerns need to be discussed by those different and this association needs suggestions, soliciting ideas coming from different businesses. So what they're going to do, they call for a convention, they call for a conference, they call for a meeting to which they will discuss the issues about the business. But when we talk about conventions are classified into four kinds, namely international, continental, national, and regional conventions. But although these are all the same, these are all sponsored or these are all organized by an association for a regular, formalized, or for ad hoc basis, but they differ lang siya, nagkalahi-lahi lang siya, the four names differ from the origin of the attendees, no? The origin of the attendees. When we talk about international convention, of course, the attendees will be coming from different countries of the world. When we talk about continental, the delegates or the attendees will be coming from the seven continents. It might be coming from North America, it coming from Asia, it's coming from Europe. When we talk about national, different different the attendees are coming from within a country, no? Different places within the country. When we talk about regional, of course, attendees coming from within the region. It could be usually convention usually involve members and non-members for more than two foreign countries, and they take place in different countries every year. If we talk about international, no, if we talk about international, it depends upon the association. It depends upon the member, the what we call this one, the bylaws of the association. If the association requires a membership, attendees must be a member for a particular organization before they can join that particular convention. So it could be, if it is in the bylaws. There will also be, kung naasad sa bylaws sa association, whether you are a member or not, you still can join as long as you will uh, pay the required amount, or for most of the time they will be collecting registration fee for the expenses incurred during the convention, especially hosting a convention, especially if it's international, especially if it is continental. So what they're going to do, it depends upon the association. So it depends upon the association. The last one is the incentive travelers. What is this incentive travel? It is a special type of business travel. It is a special type of business travel. Why it is called a special type of travel? It's because this is just only a travel given by a firm to an employee as a reward for some accomplishment, or to encourage employees to achieve more than what is required. So meaning, this is just a motivation. This is just a reward for might be, especially those companies they are requiring quotas, kanang mga quota. There are some other companies that be as a sort of motivation for their employees to work hard to achieve, to work on for the quota and beyond, they will give incentive travel. When we say when say for example, na ako'y kumpanya quota. So ikaw as agent kinahanglan mo halin ka in a month 100,000. Kung each agent must sell our product worth 100,000. If you can sell more than 100,000, say for example 110 to 120,000, you will receive an incentive travel. This incentive travel, since this is belong to business travelers, meaning this will be given to employees, and all expenses during travel is will be shouldered by the company. And most of the time, kasagaran pa yun, ang incentive travel, dili ra siya para sa for an employee. Most of the time, they will say incentive travel trip to Dakar for two, incentive travel trip to Dakar your whole family nga whole family nga imong imong gilista sa imong background, sa imong mga papilis, imong gi-declare as family. So meaning, so for example, if you declared five ka sa family, if you can receive an incentive travel trip to Dakar or trip to Boracay for a family, all the expenses will be shouldered by the company. So meaning, all of the employees, katong mga employees, are all will be motivated to work harder to reach what would be the goal, or what would be the objective of the company and beyond. It depends upon the policy of the company, and what would be the manner of giving the incentive travel, what would be the criteria before they are going to give an incentive travel. But this is a form of reward. This is a form of, it could be a group, incentive travel in your department, we decide kung who who among the department or who among the different departments of the company that will be declared as um, uh, outstanding department of the year will receive an incentive travel. Good para atong usa ka anak nga isa ka department. So what will be what what the department do, each department do, will have to work very good. Will have to work according to what is the mission and vision of the company, what is the target, uh, work on the targets of the company so that they will enjoy the incentive travel. And most of the time in our places in Philippines, most known destination for incentive travel, we have we have Bohol, Panglao in Bohol, we have Boracay, we have Dakak, and so on and so forth. So meaning, the incentive travel, dito pa yun sa mga well-known places, most visited places, internationally known tourist destinations. So meaning, ikaw as an employee, manguanyog ka, uh, mga maningkamot yun ka. Aside from it will motivate the travelers. It will motivate the employee to work hard. Aside from that, nga motivate ang employee to work harder just to it's because na siya giapas nga makuha kay gusto niya ang incentive travel. Most of the company, especially corporation, usually have the following objectives in buying incentive travel trips. First one, increase overall sales volume. Increase overall sales volume since it's because of the quota, it's because of the motivation. So meaning it will increase sales volume kay namay gikuan naman sila nga mauni imong halin. So bisag wala, those different agent who will strive harder, will work harder just to sell the item, to sell the product. It's because nag-apa sila sa incentive travel. Another one is sell new account, especially if kaning mga insurances, no? Kasagaran ini mga insurances maka-sell og new accounts para and so on and so forth nga kanang maka new clients, improve morale and goodwill, morale to the employees. It's because they will be motivated to have that one, no? And introduce new products without the use of the modern technology, without the use of those different mode of marketing or of promoting the product. Ikaw mismo, imong employee, just to kay tungod kay gusto makahalin, so we will be introducing new product of offset competitive promotions, bolster slow seasons, help in sales training, sales slow items, and obtain more store displays and support consumer promotions. It's because they are up to the incentive travel given by the company. But most of the companies, ang sabat po ng mga company kasagaran, those nga mga hatag incentive travel, those companies nga dili kayo talagsa rapud kaayo mahalin ang ilang product. I mean kanang dili ba daily nga mahalinan. So for example, um, insurance, no? Dili kaayo kung dili kaayo magkugi mo agent, so dili gid na mahalinan. Unlike mamaligya kag bugas, sa dili ka magsuroy-suroy, kinahanglan sa tao agto gina siya didto. Electronics, radio and television, kanang dili kay kinahanglan ba, kung dili ka maningkamot og pamaligya, di ka mahalinan, especially mga building and manufacturing equipment, mga office equipment, electrical appliances, and so on and so forth. Katuro pong mga dagko, medyo dako. Those are business travelers. Meaning, again and again, when we talk about business travelers, all expenses will be paid and will be shouldered by the company. Now, another classification of travel, as I told you, is leisure or personal travelers. Leisure or personal travelers, what's the difference among the two? When we talk about leisure or personal travelers, kung ang business travelers, all expenses will be shouldered by the company. When we talk about leisure or personal travelers, all expenses will be shouldered by the travelers himself. So meaning, ang ang traveler mismo maoy mo gasto sa iyahang biyahe. Tanan niyang biyahe siya mo gasto, traveler himself mo bayad, mo gasto sa iyahang travel. That is why if in business travelers, if they are not particular with the price, especially the price increase of commodities, the price increase of transportation, price increase of accommodations, in leisure or personal travelers, they are really particular to do price increase. It's because laliman ba naman ka, ikaw mismo may mubayad sa imong travel, while sa business travelers bahalag dili ka bahalag mahal, bahala pa nagmumahal o mubrato ng flight or the room accommodations, wala ko'y paki. It's because ang dili bitaw ko'y mubayad, ang company bitaw. Pero kung yung leisure or personal travelers, they are really particular with the price increase. It's because sila mismo mubayad. That is why most of the time they are in leisure or personal travelers, they are kasagaran, they are booking ahead of time for their travel para makaless. They are very particular with the prices. They look into medyo kanang reasonable ra nga accommodations. They look into for transportation accommodation for a reasonable katong medyo kuan ra pod, dili gid siya pareha sa business travelers nga they look into a very luxurious accommodations both in transportation and in hotels or in room accommodations. They look into a luxury out of the travel. It's because the expenses will be shouldered by the company. But in leisure or personal traveler, most of the time, those leisure or personal travelers, especially if we will be discussing later on the different classification of leisure or personal travelers, nangita pa yun sila o kaning medyo brato-brato, no? Medyo brato yun kaayo basta lang ma-enjoy. It's because their purpose is to enjoy the destination, not as long as they have place to sleep with, they can reach that particular destinations. They do not look into luxury for the transportation and for the accommodations. What they are up to is the pleasure they will get to the destination when they are going to travel. So let's have first the resort traveler. Classification of leisure personal travelers is what we call resort travelers. Surveys have shown that resorts travelers are educated, have professional, they are professionals, they have higher income, household incomes, and most likely they are handling managerial position in a company. Pero ilang travel leisure personal out ang company, pero ang most of the time it's because yung tag resort doble man gud kay sa most of the time sa resort medyo mahal, mas expensive siya compared to other destinations, no? Compared to kung mingon kag dagat lang, kung mingon kag plaza lang, medyo dili ra kay siya mahal. But when we talk about resort, it's because of the amenities and facilities provided. Usahay pa gani, some other resort, they will be um, asking for an entrance fee, no? Some kuan ilang pinakabarato mas kanang medyo pricey. That is why also most of the time ang katura pong agto dito are highly educated, have higher income, no? And professionals, kay sila naman po medyo makakaya sa price of the resort travelers. Another one is family or pleasure travelers. This is what I told you ganiha na they are very particular with the price. They are what we call this one, they are particular with the price increase, especially so the if the family members medyo dako if they're going to travel, medyo ngita tagkuan nga basig sa pamasahe lang daan hurot na tong kwarta, basig sa accommodation lang daan hurot na tong kwarta. So what we are going to do is to look into the cheapest one so that ma-enjoy na to tang place, makuha na po nato ang lugar. But there are also family or pleasure travelers can be divided into three groups, namely junior families, mid-range families, and mature families. When we talk about junior families, with parents aged to 34 having preschool and grade school children only, so medyo kinipa sa family and pleasure travelers, kinipa sila ang medyo kusog mo travel, kining junior families. It's because naapa sila sa ilang anak grade school children only, naapa sa preschool and grade school, meaning na kung naaman gani pamasahe medyo kuan pa kanang katunga pa, no? Ngayon 20 to 34 years old, medyo pila pa po niya anak, pinakatasan ni mga tulo na anak or duha ang anak or isa pa. So meaning they have disposable income, mas dako ang disposable income, so mas naay kuan siya to travel. But when we talk about mid-range families with parents aged 35 to 44 with grade school and or high school children only, medyo dito na po ni medyo magkakuan-kuan na, magkagamay-gamay na ang from kusog mo travel sa junior, pag mid-range naghinay-hinay nagkaubos ang travel. It's because nanay mga pamasahe ang ubang anak, no? Dili na pwede idulog ang ubang anak sa in a room, kinahanglan kuhaan gid kag separate rooms. So medyo magkagamay-gamay na pud ang disposable income of the family. So medyo malesser na sad ang travel for pleasure or personal travel. The last one is the mature families with parents aged 45 or over with children who are of high school age and older. Kato na sad medyo mo hinay na yun family nga dili na kaayo mo travel kana nga stage. It's because kuan naman kaning what we call this one, na anay mga pamasahe ang anak, dili na pwede tipo sa for a share. Imbes sa una sa junior families pwede ra mo makuha isa ka room, kay tipo itapad ra ninyo ang anak, good for two nga room, pwede ra masulod ang anak. Pag abot sa mature families, di na pwede, kinahanglan yun makuha og room. Especially if you kanang daghan na kayo og room. That is why also, kung inani na mo nga state sa inyong family, nganong may makaingon na dahil mo, anong dili naman kayo may magsigig travel karon for pleasure or personal travel. It might be of the money. It might be of the budget. No? And we have also the elderly. Kining elderly, an examination of population trend is developed countries particularly clearly indicates that the population is aging. At present, there are many people who are 50 years of age and over, including a greater number of people in the retirement age category. Dito na sad mo balik ang interest to travel. It's because during that time, nang graduate na sa college ng mga anak, 50 plus, no? 50 plus, We call that one as active affluence. Those 50 plus age bracket, 50 plus above each bracket, we call that one as active affluence. It's because mubalik ilahang interest to travel kay they will be receiving most uban nga mga retirement age, they will be receiving a retirement fee, they will be receiving pensions, medyo dako na ang disposable income, and those children graduated and working na yet, so they will be receiving allowance from their children, or might be ang ilan lang buhaton visit to their children working in different places or nangaminyo na baka bisag as nga lugar. Bakit na itong mga mama ug papa mo, anak nga mga edad mo, balhin-balhin na agto na pugko sa ako ang isa ka anak ko sa Iligan. Anak po agto na pugko sa Cebu. The takes on traveling. Especially so, if those working and professional parents, so meaning nay dakong madawat nay mga pensions after retirement, so they have disposable income, they don't have to worry about educating children na kay nang nagpa-eskwela sa anak, nang graduate na nga anak, nagtrabaho na. So what they're going to do is they will no balik lang interest to travel. The last one is singles and couples. Another important segment of leisure travel consists of singles and couples. They take their vacation to fulfill their psychological, intellectual, and physical needs by giving them the opportunity to rest, relax, escape the routine of pressure of daily living, enjoy the naturalness of life, and to express total freedom. No? Yung mga singles, wala pa'y kabilinggan, they are working and they are singles, so they keep on traveling. Couple, wala pa po'y anak, couple pa lang, so they will keep on traveling. Might be they will be distressing, they will be escaping from routine for their works, daily living, for the pressures, just to relax, just to rest. Diba na ilang kuan. There is a research in the target singles and couples is what we call Club Mediterranean. Club Med is not the only organization which stops the singles and couple pleasure travel segment. Other resort and destination, particularly in the Caribbean region, have also targeted this market segment. Most of them, it's because those different kinikuan, they will be, especially singles, they will be traveling in a group, no? That is why Club Mediterranean tapping up these different travelers. They are tapping what do you call this one, resort, to accommodate singles and couples. It's because most of the time those singles, when they travel by a group, di ba, mga group of friends, puro single magto dito, or couple lang, sige, kuanta triple date, or and so on and so on. Pwede mong laag ta di kay wala patay mga anak, and so on and so forth. Those are pleasure or personal travelers. Against the difference between business and travelers, first, business and leisure or personal travelers. Like first one, kung tag business travelers, expenses is being shouldered by the company, while in leisure or personal travelers, the expenses will be shouldered by the traveler himself. Another one is in business travelers, they are not concerned to any price increase, while personal or pleasure traveler are very particular to price increase. Okay? But most of the, but we, if it kanang we know already those different stages of the family, whatever pleasure, whatever they belong to, business ba kaha or pleasure ba kaha. Kung business, okay ra. But there are also naasad gihapon business travelers, although even all expenses will be shouldered by the company. Anong dili gihapon siya ka-travel? Anong dili gihapon siya mupalit og package tour? Tanan man unta nga kuan, tanan man unta nga what we call this one, expenses will be shouldered by the company, but why you are not going to engage into travel? No, ano yung mga pangutana? Ikaw sad na pamangod na single pa unta ka ko or couple pa unta mo or naapa mo sa family pleasure traveler or resort travelers, pero why you are not going to engage into travel? So these are the 7 travel constraints. First one is lack of money. Travel constraints or hindrances why people do not engage into travel. First one is travel constraints. When we talk about the first one is lack of money. Of course, if you don't have money, you don't have the opportunity to travel. Although, karon simplification of travel through package tour or through different bankings offering travel now, pay later. Pero still, nanginahanglan gyapon siya og money. So meaning, less money means less travel. No money means no travel. Tanawa ra sa ato even here, ganahan nung tatamaad tog Plaza Luz, taga dalangasan ka, ganahan ta ka mula og Plaza Luz, mutanaw ato ilang dako nga screen, kaso lang wala kay pamasahe. Wala kay pamasahe sa tricycle, meaning dili ka kaagto dito. Mao gini sa kababag why people do not engage into travel. It's because wala money. Pero the business travelers, this is not the reason. This is not the reason for a business traveler. Might be for pleasure or personal. Why they do not engage into travel? It's because lack of money. That's simple. Another one is lack of time. Although they have money, they have a lot of money, but they don't have time. Kana asad usahay. Sana to kababag kini atong time. We are busy with different activities, our own activities. We are busy with our work, with our studies, and so on and so forth. So meaning we cannot engage into travel. Lack of safety and security, especially of ganahan unta ka maagto on that particular place. Kaso, which of course, the safety and security, how can you enjoy the place if sacrifice di mo ang safety and security? Di ba? So meaning, usa pa ka mo, di ba kasagaran na itong kuan, if we can hear new tourist spot or tourist destination, especially even in our locality, kanang mga bagong discovering mga tourist destination, yung mga dito. Ang una na tong question is, safe ra dito? Secure ra dito? That is one. Okay, another one is physical disability. Talk about physical disability, especially so if naagid tay dili pwede magkuan mo kiang na ta, yung takakita, ay na lang pag engage into travel. Another one is family commitments. This one also may hinder us to travel. Although we have money, we have time, the place is safe and secured, we are kicking, our body is safe and sound, pero this family commitments also, especially so if maabot na ka kanang minyo na ka, so meaning nahon pa ba din imong laag-laag na kay pamilyang pakanuno hikayanan, or kung single ka, unahon pa ba din imong laag-laag kung na kay mama nga giatiman, na kay papa nga gitaman, na kay lola nga giatiman, na kay tita nga giatiman, no? Or either inyong plano Sunday, it's a family day sa inyo ha. It will hinder you to travel. Another one is lack of interest in travel. Balagdagan kay kwarta na, pero naagihapon jud tawo mga yun ani. I can nakakita ra gyapon kog mga tao. I have known people nga they have a lot of money, they have a lot of time. It's because they used to have their own time. I mean, mga kuan, they are running their own business. They yun prosperous na. So meaning, wala na lang, galingkod-lingkod na lang. They have a lot of money, they have a lot of time. the place is safe and secure, they don't have the disability, they don't have commitments, family commitments, but they really don't have the interest in travel. And worse, the number 7, fears of travel. Katulad siyang psychocentric, low energy psychocentric. They prefer to stay at home. And we know that already, that there are really people that yun, di gid ganahan mo hadlukanon jud mo kuan mo travel, and these people also might influence those don't have the fear of travel para mahimo na po siyang mahadlukanon na hinuon mo travel kay most of uh, people who do have fears of travel are negativists. Katulad ng miingon nga, ini palagkuan mawadaan pala nag-break atong gisakyan then hagbong ta sa pangpang. Wala man dayon so ikaw makadungog kay murag maduha-duhaan lang pud hinuon ka. Ikaw makadungog kay murag mahadlok na lang pud hinuon ka. So what you are going to do is wala na. Ma-influence ka. Di na lang ta mo travel ay. No? So those are the different travel constraints, and that ends the psychology of travel. So meaning we understand why we understand that there are really people wanted to travel if they only knew that this particular travel has something to do with the satisfaction of their needs and wants. But there are also people that they do not engage into travel. It's based on their personality. No? Meaning, people do travel according to their purposes and according to their personality. The same as true, people do not engage into travel. It's because of their purpose and it's because of their personality. Okay? If you have questions about the discussions, just comment down below so I could address your questions. Okay? Thank you, everyone. Goodbye and have a blessed day all day long and be safe. Bye-bye.